So come on down.
Yes. Yes. Please stand for the procession. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Willie Williams, Pacific East District Community Superintendent, and on behalf of Dr. Judy Allen, the Superintendent of Schools, Principal Renee Cobb of MC Perry High School, and Assistant Principal Kevin England of MC Perry High School, it's an honor to welcome you to the Matthew C. Perry High School Class of 22 commencement ceremony. At this time, let's please honor the graduating class of 2022. Before we move forward with the ceremony this afternoon, the graduating class of Matthews Superior High School would like to ask that everyone join in a moment of silence to recognize the 21 lives that were lost at the Uvalde school shooting in the United States and Texas this week. Please pause for a moment of silence. Thank you for taking a moment to honor those whose lives were senselessly lost in a school shooting this week. At this time, we would like to ask you once again to please silence your cell phones if you have one. It's never fun to have a graduation ceremony interrupted by a cell phone, so we'll ask you to silence those, all right? And at this time, please help me welcome Miss Haley Gibbs to the stage.
Please remain standing for the presentation of colors and the singing of the national anthems of the United States and Japan by Matthews Superior's own samurai singers.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Iowa, Shioni, Sazare, Nishino, Iwaonarite.
Ladies and gentlemen, Please be seated. Members of the class of 2022 will present a multilingual welcome. English as spoken by Emil Williams. Spanish as delivered by Priscilla Lopez Berrios. Haitian Creole presented by Kaylina Thevenin. Tagalog provided by Joshua Lankisco. Finally, Denzel Gray brings a warm welcome in Japanese.
Good evening. My name is Amia Williams, and I would like to welcome you to the commencement ceremony of Matthew C. Perry High School for the class of 2022. We would like to thank all the faculty, friends, family, and honored guests who graced us here with their presence at this shining moment in our lives. We hope that this evening will be a memorable celebration of our class's accomplishments as we close the chapter in one phase of our lives and turn the page towards another, more exciting phase towards our future.
Buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Priscila López y quiero darles una cordial bienvenida a todos a esta ceremonia de graduación de la preparatoria Matthew C. Perry de la clase 2022. Queremos dar las gracias a todos los maestros, familiares, amigos y honorables invitados que nos honran con su presencia en este momento importante en nuestras vidas. Esperamos que esta tarde sea una celebración memorable para celebrar los logros de esta clase, ahora que cerramos el capítulo de esta fase de nuestras vidas y pasamos una página hacia nuestro futuro. Gracias por estar aquí.
Bonsoir, mon nom est Kaylina Thevenin. Moi travaille aquí dans la cérémonie commencement de l'école secondaire Matthew C. Perry pour classe 2022. Nous travaillons remercier toute faculté, amis, famille à qui inviter à qui fait grâce. Nous ici, la présence dans un moment sacré dans la vie. Nous espérons que soit ça pour une célébration mémorable, nos réalisations, classe nous pardonne et la première chapelle, nos affaires dans la vie. Et puis, via page là, il y a une autre phase qui est intéressante, direction pour la vie.
Magandang gabi po. Ako si Joshua Blanquisco at malugod ko kayong tinatanggap sa programang pagtatapos ng Matthew C. Perry High School klase ng 2022. Nagpapasalamat kami sa lahat ng mga guro, mga kaibigan, pamilya at panahuing pandanga na tumangkilik sa amin sa mahalagang sandaling ito ng aming buhay. Umaasa kami na ang gabing ito ay magiging makabuluhang pagsasalo sa pagunita ng aming mga tagumpay sa pagsasara ng isang yugto ng aming buhay at muling magbukas ng panibagong yugto para sa aming matagumpay na kinabukasan. Maraming salamat po.
こんばんは。私はデンゼル・グレイです。MC ペリー高校の2022年度卒業式へようこそお越しくださいました。この式を今までお世話になった学校の先生方をはじめ、関係者の方々、家族、そして来訪者の皆様方と共に迎えることができ、大変感謝しております。この式が我々の人生の中においての一つの到達点となり、次の目標への新たなスタートとなりますよう願っております。
I would now like to introduce to you the wonderful principal of MC Perry High School, Ms. Renee Cobb.
Good evening and welcome to the commencement exercises for the class of 2022. I'd like to welcome and thank our Pacific East District Community Superintendent, Mr. Willie Williams, and all of our honored guests who are here this evening. There are so many thank yous for tonight's event that I can't name them all, but I would like to send a special thank you to MC Perry High School Assistant Principal, Mr. Kevin Anglam, MC Perry High School Senior Sponsor, Ms. Patricia Swiderski, Our video engineer, Mr. Rossiter in the back, can you wave? That's Mr. Rossiter. Matthew C. Perry High School faculty and staff, and most importantly, these individuals that are sitting before us looking so sharp and debonair, prepared to take their next step as the class of 2022. So as they take their next step, let's take a moment to reflect on some steps that led them here today. As military or military-connected students, we know how unique and different their journeys can be. So we're going to try this. So if this is your first year at Matthew C. Perry High School, please stand. You may be seated. If you've been a student at Matthew C. Perry High School for all 4 years, please stand. You may be seated. If you were a student at the old Matthew C. Perry Middle High School, please stand. You may be seated. If I was your assistant principal and your principal, please stand. You may be seated. If you were a part of last night's senior prank, please stand. Yeah, we're still investigating that one. Thank you. If you were a student at MC Perry Elementary School, please stand. You may be seated. If you were in kindergarten in Iwakuni, please stand. You may be seated. And finally, if you've attended schools aboard MCAS Iwakuni for your entire educational journey, please stand. You may be seated, Lord. So much like the beginning of the school year, the end of the school year is often filled with so much excitement. At the beginning of the year, there's excitement and a renewed sense of energy and purpose as we look forward to what is in store for the year. The end of the year brings the closing of a chapter, prom, PCS moves, and now your graduation. However, as we look back over this school year, let's take a moment to focus on the middle, because it's in the middle that you will find that we came from out of the shadows. Now, we all remember how the 2019-2020 school year started versus how it ended. Every time I say 2020, I feel like there should be some ominous music that plays, but we're not going to do that. So when we take a look at where we started from this year, I can't help but to think of a Drake verse. Started from the bottom, now we're here. We've seen our sports return. Whose house is this? We've seen Far East music return. We've seen Far East drama. We've seen faces, and the masks have come off. For the first time in 2 years, masks aren't required. All of that is to say that it is exciting to see that our start doesn't have to look like our finish. All of the things that we did to build and re-energize in the middle have led you to a triumphant end of the school year. When you are able to see the light at the end of the tunnel, you know that you are stepping out of the shadows. Now, we all know one thing that we've learned in the past 2 years, that what today looks like could be vastly different tomorrow. Nonetheless, you've shown how resilient you are by continually adapting to the changes and moving forward. You've truly shown that you are the light. Keep that spirit with you as you move forward in your journey. And all of this, remember that there were so many people that were there for you during your journey. MC Perry High School and our Iwakuni community have truly shown what it means to be a village. For that, we thank you. Our village carried us at the start, the middle, and they will continue to carry you forward. Now, the theme for our 21-22 school yearbook is From Out of the Shadows. This theme highlights that we are finally taking steps out of this pandemic. It highlights that we are not defeated. So it is my hope that you take these words with you. As Maya Angelou once said, you may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. In fact, it may be necessary to encounter the defeats so that you can know who you are, what you can rise from, and how you can still come out of it. You've come from out of the shadows. You are and forever will be #Samurai Strong. Thank you, class of 2022, for allowing me to be a part of your village, and I always will be. Thank you.
This year's class salutatorian is Zildjian Tamayo, graduating with a cumulative grade point average of 4.052. Please welcome Zildjian, who will deliver the salutatorian address.
Welcome and good evening, Mrs. Cobb, Mr. Anglem, administration, families, NHS helpers, Mr. Roster and his recording crew, and of course, the class of 2022. Welcome to this momentous occasion, our graduation. My name is Zildjian Tamayo, but I'm simply Z for short, or Charlie if you're Mr. Rossiter. It has been a wild year to say the least. We began school year wearing masks, and now look where we are. There's no longer a mask mandate for school, and we can finally see everyone's faces, everyone's expressions. If I'm not mistaken, this is the first time since 2020 that we can actually see people's faces without having to obscure our faces to one another. This is a testament to our endurance as a class of 22. We've endured a tremendous amount to get to where we are now. Now we're on the precipice of the next chapter of our lives. I think I should start with what I mean by endurance. Merriam-Webster defines endurance as the ability to withstand hardship or adversity. With that in mind, what did we endure through? What did I endure through? Compared to some of my peers, I haven't been in Iwakuni for long. Come September, I will have reached my second year in Iwakuni. I originally started in a small middle of nowhere town in California, Lemoore, smack dab in the middle of Central Valley. There I attended Lemoore High School. And as a freshman, I was intimidated by the new challenges presented to me by my first true American public high school experience. For the first time, I had 7 classes every day. College was a creeping thought, and I wanted to stand out in my class of about 500 students in a school of about 2,000. Every day was an uphill battle considering my procrastinating nature. But even then, I knew I had to endure, and endure I did. On weekdays from 6:15 in the morning to 10:30 every night, I worked to maintain good grades, working diligently to meet due dates, study for tests, and saving time to play video games. I did this for 2 years in Lemoore, and I would like to think that my hard work paid off, especially since I'm standing here today on the verge of graduating. In sophomore year, though, I felt burnt out, probably one of the lowest years of my high school. COVID just shut down my school and I was stuck at home. Sure, I played video games daily, but even then, that became stale. I felt the monotony of school, even though I was at home. Luckily, I learned that I would be moving back to Japan. But what I didn't expect was I'd be moving to Iwakuni, not at Tsugi. This was a punch in the gut to an already strained year, but I was simply excited to go back to Japan. So for the sake of a change of pace, new scenery, and a fresh start of sorts, I endured 3 full summer months stuck in LA before my family could be given a flight to Japan because of COVID. I could not tell you how great it was to be back in Japan. After a comfortable 3-hour drive from Fresno to LA, a 12-ish hour flight from from Fresno to Yokota, and another flight from Yokota to Iwakuni. I was beyond tired and wanted to leave Iwakuni and go back to California. But hey, I didn't have jet lag. Attending MC Perry High School was a whole new test of my endurance, and the mask mandate just made it all the more annoying. Yet all I ever told myself was to endure this one last time and you'll be done. Push through this one last bit of hardship and it'll all pay off. Thankfully, I wasn't lying to myself. Junior year came and went just as fast as a runner on the 100-meter sprint, and now here I am. I met new people and made some amazing friends, like Matcha, John, Chuck, the whole lot. I also met some amazing and kind teachers, Mr. Lang, Mr. Rossiter, Ms. Landrum, Coach Kramer, you get the idea. They pushed me along my path throughout my junior and senior years. They helped make an annoying bit of adversity just a small little hurdle for me to get over. And the thing is, I saw them encourage me just as much as they encouraged the rest of my peers. I don't think I'd be wrong to say that many of us here today have at least somebody to thank our teachers for. I know for some, it's for helping us study for a test, practice harder for a sport, or guide us through a rough day. Whether we realize it or not, our teachers are a critical part of our endurance as a class. If you've noticed, I haven't mentioned family once. This isn't because they're not important. It's because family is one of the most integral parts of why we endure what we do every single day, these past 4 years of high school. I know that no matter what I set my mind to, my family will always have my back. If it's a tough challenge like cross country, then they'll support me and push me to try my best and get a new PR. If it's to go and learn how to drive, they'll be there to teach me, even though I know I'll be learning in California. If you've driven there, you know what I'm talking about. If I'm having a bad day, they'll comfort me. If I'm having a marvelous day, they'll be there to be happy for me. I know my mom will always be there to support me, and my dad will always be my role model and hero. And my brother will always be there to be the wild card that brings dumb jokes and laughter into my life. This is what family does. They support, they motivate, they act as pillars to hold us up to endure life's great trials. Listen, I've been rambling about endurance this and endurance that, but what I want to hit home is the importance that the many things that help us through our everyday lives. So with that, I want to thank those who helped me throughout my life. Thank you, teachers, for guiding me in school and pushing me to become something more. Thank you, Mom, Dad, Xavier, for being phenomenal supporters and showing me how to be a better son, brother, and person overall. And thank you to my friends who make my days all the more interesting with our random banter, heated arguments, and relaxing sessions of Uno and Cards Against Humanity. Before I forget, I also want to give one last thank you to Executive Council. John, Sarah, Aya, thank you guys for putting up with me for a whole year and for the fun times we've had throughout the end. Thank you everyone for helping me throughout my journey, from Little Lemoore to Pleasant Perry. Thank you once again. And now that the formal part is out of the way, Mr. Rossiter, you didn't want me to make this a tradition, and that's not what I'm doing here. But I wanted to do this for you. On behalf of all of us here from the graduating class of 2022, stay classy, Ukuni. Thank you very much.
Ms. Cobb, Z, thank you for those words. The members of the class of 2022 will now make a special presentation to their parents and guardians. Crying before, I think a lot more of us are crying now. This year's class valedictorian is Parker Staley, who's graduating with a cumulative grade point average of 4.074. Please welcome Parker Staley, who will deliver the valedictorian address.
First of all, on behalf of the graduating class of 2022, I would like to thank all of you for attending today's graduation. Reflecting on my 9 total years in Iwakuni, one thing that I've noticed is the way people act about being here. Often you'll find people who said they don't like it here. They talk about how they want to leave, they don't like the things here to do, and that wherever they were before is so much better. These people love to talk about how much they want to get out of here and how ready they are when the time finally comes for them to leave. But do you know what happens to most of these people when they get to their new places? More often than not, they say that they miss the very things they despised while they were here. They miss the people, the places, and our school. Let's talk about these things. People. Whether you like it or not, you will always have people around you. Oftentimes, you pick a few you like more than others, and they become your friends. Throughout life, especially one lived as a military child or military connected, these people tend to come and go. As sad as it is, these people are often not appreciated as much as they should until it truly comes time for them to leave. It's important to look at those beside you and recognize their value in your life. Be mindful of what their value is and appreciate it, whether it be your family, your friends, or even those you don't particularly like or outright hate. Be grateful for those people around you. Places. Well, this is a harder one to pinpoint than people. It's still something that is often taken for granted. Everything becomes routine. That sushi place you went every week is not as special as it was a few years ago. Trips to Hiroshima that once felt like stepping into a different world are now just a regular weekend. Soon, you won't be in these places anymore. You won't be able to go to that restaurant every week or spend your weekends up in a different city. Even outside of Japan, one day, no matter what, you will end up leaving the places you are at. However, this inevitability is what gives them value. Be mindful of the places you are at, whether it is as specific as where you are standing or as broad as the country you live in, because one day you will not be there anymore, and being mindful of that allows you to fully appreciate everything you have. The school. Matthew C. Perry High School is more than just a name and a school. It is a community. As those here who have been to the high school in the States can attest, Matthew C. Perry High School is very different from any school you'll find anywhere else. We have a small student population, resulting in a tighter community, more opportunities to be who you want to be, do what you want to do, and to get more one-on-one educational experience. While it is too late for almost all of us here to go back and be mindful of the benefits the school has given us and as they were given, it's very important to be grateful for the benefits that you have and the foundation that has handed us these last 4 years, and use it to remind ourselves to be mindful of this wherever this preparation leads us. And lastly, not listed before, the biggest thing to stay mindful of is life. Life is short. We're all aware of this. However, life is taken for granted every day as we live it. While you should not live like every day is your last, I mean, if you think about it, if it was really your last day to live, you would do some pretty strange things. You should be mindful that life is temporary. At face value, this seems like something bad, something to be afraid of. But I disagree. What value would a life without end have? There would be no rush to do anything, no stakes, nothing. You would get much less done in the time that a normal life is lived. The issue is that people often live like they are never going to die. They put things off for tomorrow. They don't say I love you to the people that matter to them, and they don't see the value that every second holds. Be mindful. Do what you have to do today so that you can do what you want to tomorrow. Tell the people you love them every chance you get, and see the value in every second you have, because you'll never get them back. So if there's one thing I'd like you to take away from this, is to be mindful. Being mindful will help you see the value in everything and bring you to a more fulfilled life. Finally, I would like to give my thanks. First and foremost, I would like to thank my parents for pushing me to succeed and being the reason I find myself walking across this stage today. Secondly, I would like to thank the faculty and staff at Matthew C. Perry High School for supporting each and every one of us for the time that we've been here, providing the best education we could possibly ask for. Without you all, we would not be here. And lastly, I would like to thank my fellow graduates. You've all done an amazing job these last 4 years of school. It takes a lot of hard work, dedication, and perseverance to make it on this stage, and each and every one of you found it within yourselves to do what it took to earn the right to your diplomas. I'm proud of all of you, and there's no class I would rather be standing here speaking for. I'd like to end with a quote.
If you had the opportunity to play this game of life, you need to appreciate every moment. A lot of people don't appreciate their moment until it's past. Kanye West. Thank you.
The class of 2022 asked Miss Patricia Swiderski to be their guest speaker, a tribute to her outstanding dedication and support for students at MC Perry High School. Miss Swiderski is a math and science teacher here at MC Perry. She's been the senior class sponsor for the last 4 years. Miss Swiderski grew up in Louisville, Kentucky, and attended the University of Kentucky, earning 2 bachelor degrees, one in chemistry and a second in mathematics. While pursuing her master's degree, she completed her final semester and student teaching in Kenmare, Ireland. She started teaching in Lexington and moved to Fort Knox, and finally to Iwakuni in 2012. Ms. Swiderski is an extensive world traveler, having traveled to over 30 countries on 5 continents. Her goal is to set foot on all 7 continents and experience as many majestic, wonderful traditions and cultures as possible in order to gain insight and respect the world and its differences. Please welcome Ms. Swiderski.
Good evening, faculty, family, friends, and honored guests, and most importantly, the senior class of 2022. Normally, speakers stand up here and speak mainly to the audience, so I want to address the seniors directly this year, since this is their commencement speech. So please pardon me as I move down so that I can address them directly. Seniors, I know what many of you are thinking. Oh Lord, here comes Ms. Swiderski with all of her life lessons. Yes, in one way you are correct. But be patient with me. I promise you I'm only going to take a few minutes of your time. So here we go. We start our lives not knowing what to do. Each day we learn something new. And then the next day we learn something else. Once we hit kindergarten, our job is to move on to first grade. Then it's to move on to second, and so on. In high school, you start out as a freshman, move on to a sophomore, and here you all are. You all are now seniors. You all are about to enter this mammoth world, which presents new pressures of success, whether that is in school, becoming a professional, or raising a family. Yet we are constantly using a ladder, always striving and reaching for something in life. I'm here to tell you, it's okay to not know what to do. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to fail. And you will many times. I bet you all have to, right? All right. How you pick yourself up and how you pick yourself up and move on determines your character, builds inner strength, and helps you grow as an individual. Push yourself outside your comfort zone. Try new things. Or heck, slow down. Put down your cell phone and live in the moment. Life passes quickly by. Just ask your parents. Even though you think everything is moving so slowly, you keep asking yourself, when do I get to make my own decisions? When do I get to make these choices for myself? I promise you that day is rapidly approaching. Enjoy the little things. Take time to learn who you are. Make those mistakes and be the authentic you. You all have been fortunate enough that your parents have already provided you with a stable foundation in learning, experiencing different cultures, and trying new things. Oftentimes, you've had no choice. It's literally where your parents' orders have taken you. But you are resilient, you adapt, you make new friends, and you have seen parts of this world that so many other people will never have a chance to experience. Use these experiences and truly let them become part of you. For a lot of you, when someone asks where you went to high school, you're going to say, oh, I went to high school in Japan. All right, they will be confused and not fully understand. How can you be American and go to high school in Japan? You'll have to repeat your explanation to the same questions repeatedly, but use this as an opportunity to share your experiences and differences growing up. Too many times people want to follow the norm, but don't do it. You all are different and you all are born to stand out. People will come and go in your life when you need them. Some will stay, others will be there for moments. Not everyone will like you. I know this one. Not everyone will have nice things to say about you. Yet again. All right. Others will not have nice things to say about you. That's okay. You need to have that balance in your life. What do I say when you all start complaining or you do something that you don't want to do? What's this? I do this a lot in class. All right. That's right. That's my caring face. Some days it's pleasant looking, other days it's sour looking, but behind it is someone who truly cares and wants the best from you. In my heart, I do not want to see you struggle or fail. But you need to learn from your actions. Life is hard. I encourage you to come up with your own caring faces. Learn when to take things to heart and when to let things go. Please do not put up walls and not let anyone in, but rather ponder, evaluate what others are saying, and accept people for who they are. Accept others' faults because people accept us for ours. This world has enough influencers. You are constantly being bombarded by things to influence you on social media, the internet, through celebrities. You need to figure out who you are and just be you. Don't settle and become complacent. There is no use in always planning for the future. Once you make it to the present, you won't be there because you'll still be living and preparing for another future that has yet to arrive. Thus, never experiencing life, living in the moment, and enjoying the fruits of your actions. You can't live until you live fully now. Am I telling you not to plan for the future? Absolutely not. What I'm saying is while you are working towards your future, live in the moment. Enjoy the small things. Please look up at the stars and wonder how minute we are in this large universe. Please don't think about what could have been or what should have been. Think about what is now. What do you want to do? How do you see yourself? I encourage you to go out in life and do whatever makes you happy. If that means going off to college and graduate school, then law school or medical school, then do that. If it means becoming an engineer, a nurse, an EMT, my teachers out there, an MMA fighter, all right, a private investigator, or joining the military, then do that. If that means you're happy building houses, being a mechanic, or a mortician, do that. In order to be successful, you need to be happy with what you are doing. And right now, your brain literally has no idea what it wants to do. And that is okay. Some of you think you may want to be a pediatric neurosurgeon. 25 years later, you're a high school chemistry teacher in Iwakuni, Japan. Life happens. Mistakes happen. Never be afraid to take the new path. I promise you that your family and friends will support you no matter what, as long as you are doing what makes you happy. Will you all support them in that? All right. See? I do ask one thing of you. Learn to express your gratitude. Thank those who have made an impression in your life. Even if it's 5 or 10 years from now, reach out. You won't regret it. Congratulations, class of 2022. This truly is my caring face, and I'm so proud of you. I can't wait to see what you do to leave your mark on this world. Congratulations.
Thank you, Ms. Widerski. Our graduates have excelled academically, and we would like to take a moment to recognize our National Honor Society members who wear the golden stoles and cords to represent their participation in National Honor Society. Please rise when your name is called. Tristan Baez Peña. Haley Gibbs. Maciej Hutocki. John Shaver. And Zildjian Tamayo. Please be seated. Additionally, the following student is wearing the National Honor Society Gold Medallion for maintaining a 4.0 cumulative GPA throughout his high school career. Please rise, Zildjian Tamayo. Now to present the graduates of Matthew C. Perry High School with their diplomas is our principal, Mrs. Renee Cobb, who will be aided by our assistant principal, Mr. Kevin Englam. First row, please stand. Tristan Isaiah Baez Peña.
After high school, I'm planning to stay in Newport County to work at the base library and live with my parents. I would like to thank my parents, my teachers, and my friends for supporting me and being there for me and helping me.
Gage Tyler Benkin.
Happy graduation. I plan on working in my grandfather's farm, and then I'm going to try and become a master of a trade. I would like to thank my parents for always being there through thick and thin. To thank Isaac for being there with me during any good or bad decision. Thank Ella for always pushing me to do my best. And to thank my family in the States that even though they are across the world, they still do their best to make sure that I know they care.
Isabella Faith Bellini Hewitt.
After graduation, I plan on attending a four-year college in San Diego, completing medical school, and specializing in orthopedics. I would like to thank my parents for always pushing and helping me towards my goals. I would like to thank my friends for helping me up when I'm down, and I'd like to thank Gage for taking care of me and bringing fun to each day. Thank you all so much, and I love you guys.
Joshua Macindo Blanquisco.
After graduation, I plan on attending the University of Arizona and will be majoring in physiology. I would like to thank my parents for supporting me the past 18 years, my two siblings, Kevin and Aaron, my teachers and coaches for guiding me along the way, my close friends, Roy, Sheehan, Gazelle, and David. And finally, I would like to thank the front office for not counting all of my targets.
Zachary Abram Carter.
After graduation, I plan on going on a mission for my church for 2 years. I don't know where yet, but I'm ready to go. I would like to thank Quizlet, Wikipedia, and most of all, Google. Of course, I'd like to thank my teachers and my parents and family and such, but most importantly, the internet.
Clayton III.
Congratulations, I plan on attending University, starting off with baseball and majoring in sports management. I would like to thank Mom and Dad for dealing with my hard head, Taisha, Tenassin, and Rollins for being annoying, the boys for being the goated friends, Chelsea for being the best girlfriend, and lastly, my teachers for assigning hard tests.
Elizabeth Ann Daniels.
After graduation, I plan on moving back to Tennessee, getting a job in a kitchen, and eventually going to Walter State University to take their culinary program. I would like to thank my parents for encouraging me to do what I love to do, my best friend Morgan Drummond for always being by my side, and my brother Mitchie for being the best brother I could ever ask for.
Morgan Drummond.
After graduation, I don't know where I will go, but I'm ready to live a happy life. I would like to thank Elizabeth Ann Daniels.
Caden Udell Easton.
After I graduate, I plan on going to college to get a master's degree in aerospace engineering and a bachelor's in engineering. I would like to thank my friends over the years, my teachers, my relatives, and most importantly, my parents.
Shion Brandon Fleming.
After graduation, I plan on attending Glenn University to major in secondary education. I will also try and walk on for the Lynn College soccer team. I would like to thank my family who supported me through thick and thin, my coaches that pushed me to be a better version of myself, and my close friends, Roy, Josh, Denzel, and David, for letting me dunk on them on a daily. Thank you for making the last 18 years of my life special. I love you all.
Haley Elizabeth Gibbs.
After graduation, I plan on attending Northern Arizona University, where I plan on getting my master's in criminology. I would like to thank my mom and dad for loving me unconditionally and supporting me no matter what. Also, Gage and Bianca for being the best siblings ever. And lastly, I would like to thank Maddox and James for always being there, even in the darkest of times, and always making everything fun. I love you all.
Jasenia Corina Gonzalez.
My plan on staying during the recruiting and working and volunteering at the USO. I would like to thank my family for being there for me and supporting me through all these years. And thank you to Ms. Cobb for being such a wonderful principal.
Second row, please stand. Denzel Tenjin Gray.
After graduation, I plan on going to college in the States, majoring IT related. As a backup plan, I will go to college in Japan. I would like to thank my parents for raising me and supporting me through hard times. I also want to thank my friends for all the fun moments. Y'all were the best.
Parker Ryotaro Harrell.
My name is Parker, and I plan to go to the university in Tokyo from this September. I would like to thank my parents and the people who became friends with me in my life. Thank you.
Megan Elizabeth Hilgemeyer.
After graduation, I plan on attending Black Hills State University for a double major in photography and graphic design. I would like to thank my parents, Mr. Roster and Mr. Lang, my best friend Melly for putting up with my craziness, my grandma for dealing with me for the next 4 years, and lastly, my grandpa for watching over me and helping me through this year.
Maciej Tsubasa Hutotski.
After graduation, I plan on attending an international university in Hungary and pursuing a 4-year professional pilot's program. I would like to thank first and foremost my family and all of the teachers and friends that I've had over the years.
David Mashew Jans.
After graduation, I plan on attending university in Florida and become successful in life. And I also like to thank my family, my friends, Mr. Lane, Ms. Cobb, and all my teachers for helping me get to where I am.
Ryan Edward Livengood.
After graduation, I plan on enlisting into the Air Force. I'd like to thank my mom and my 2 brothers for always supporting me.
Priscilla Lopez Berrios.
After graduation, I plan on visiting Puerto Rico and then going to Texas for a 6-month paramedic program. I would like to thank my parents for supporting me and being there for me all of the time, my family and my friends for keeping me sane and for always believing in me. I'd also like to thank Zeke for helping me grow as a person. Thank all of you.
Prince Saya Martin.
After graduation, I plan on attending to Howard University to major in film and theater arts. I would like to thank my parents, my teachers, my friends, and everyone who's involved in my life, and even to the haters, to give me that inspiration of being here where I'm at.
Nathan Patrick Mireles.
After graduation, I plan on enlisting in the Navy. I would like to thank my mom, dad, and my younger brother for always supporting me, teaching me, and especially making my life filled with fun. I would like to thank my best friend Santiago for being the coolest friend throughout this school year. And I would like to especially thank Bruce for making my day so much happier and happier.
Miguel Valentin Pabon.
After graduation, I plan on enlisting in the Marine Corps band or enlisting into the military. I would like to thank my mom, my dad, my coaches, and all of my teachers for helping me on my journey through school. I would like to shout out Coach Tucker for pushing me through high school in basketball and making me become a better player. I also like to thank Ms. Ringgold for helping me become a better musician.
John Michael Price.
After graduation, I plan on learning Japanese and college for piano. I would like to thank my parents and my piano teacher.
Mariah Anaya Rhodes.
After graduation, I plan on going to an Illinois college and majoring in business. I would like to thank all of my teachers for not only getting me where I am now, but also dealing with my procrastination. I would like to thank my family and friends for supporting me, and also my family from the States for supporting me from a distance.
third row, please stand. Ezekiel Antonio Santascoy.
After graduation, I plan on being successful. I would thank my mom and dad, Parker, Ryan, and Priscilla, for making high school what it was. Thank you.
John Yamato Shaver.
After graduation, I plan on attending community college and pursuing a career in graphic design. I would like to thank my parents for always supporting me, my friends for always being here for me, and my teachers and coaches for pushing me to do better.
Parker Ray Staley.
After graduation, I plan on attending North Carolina State University to study mechanical engineering. I would like to thank Ryan Leatherwood, Zeke Santaskoy, Dwight Clayton III, and Dylan Shook for being there for me throughout high school. I would also like to thank my parents, Glenn and Marlena, and brother Hunter, for supporting me throughout my life. Thank you.
Abigail Ruth Ann Sweda.
After graduation, I plan on going to get my nursing license. I would like to thank my parents, Priscilla, Mariah, Bentley, and my fiance for always being there and supporting me. I love you guys. I would like to make a special shout out to my best friend, Allie, who is no longer with us. I love and miss you so much.
Zildjian Nathaniel Lopez Tamayo.
After graduation, I plan on attending Naval Academy Prep School, then moving to Naval Academy after that. Then it's off to the Navy. I would like to thank my parents first and foremost. Thank you for all you've done these 18 years. Next, my friends. Y'all are some of the best people I've ever met. You guys made Iwakuni and Perry more fun than I could have imagined it to be.
Kaylina Sonia Thevenin.
After graduation, I plan on attending college, majoring in nursing to graduate with a bachelor's degree in science. I would like to thank my friends, my teachers for pushing me to succeed, and most importantly, my mom and dad. I simply couldn't have done anything without them.
Owen Dale Trigo.
After graduation, I plan on attending Central New Mexico Community College in Albuquerque, Mexico for computer sciences. I would like to thank my parents and siblings, my teachers throughout Lake and Heath, Cibola, and Perry, and all my friends, and most importantly, my dog Darwin.
Caitlin Lilu Villigren.
After graduation, I plan on enlisting in the Air Force. I would like to thank my mom and dad for helping me push through my years in high school and supporting my passions. I would also like to thank my best friends, Mason, Rinko, and Santiago, for helping me both in and out of school and keeping me laughing.
Tommy Elijah Weaver.
After graduation, I'm probably going into the Air Force Reserves, or I'll probably go to a community college for whatever I decide to pursue. And for those who I would like to thank, I would like to thank my parents for helping me out, my teachers for giving me important life information, and my friends and family for being there for me and helping me out through tough times when I needed them most.
Amia Mariah Williams.
After graduation, I plan on attending Grand Canyon University and majoring in special education. I want to earn my bachelor's degree and become a Tadea special ed teacher. I would like to thank myself for being able to push through these past 12 years. I would also like to thank my friends for the past 4 years, my brothers Darrell and Dominic for my motivation to be a better big sister. I would ultimately like to thank my mom for everything she's done for the past 17 years. Without her, I'd be completely lost.
James Allen Williams.
After graduation, I plan on joining the military, and I would like to thank my parents for everything they've done and all the teachers.
Seniors, please be seated.
Mrs. Cobb, on behalf of the faculty and staff of Matthew C. Perry High School, it is my sincere hope that today's graduates go forth in life with a passion for lifelong learning, lifelong self-reflection, and lifelong sense of gratitude for all the opportunities afforded to them. Mrs. Cobb, I proudly present to you the graduating class of 2022. Please stand.
As principal, I certify that these seniors have met all the requirements set forth for graduation. On behalf of the Department of Defense Education Activity Director, Mr. Tom Brady, Regional Director for Student Excellence, Ms. Lois Rapp, and Pacific East Superintendent, Dr. Judith Allen, and by the authority vested in me as principal of Matthew C. Perry High School, and by the Department of Defense Education Activity, I hereby declare that you, as members of the class of 2022, are now graduates of Matthew C. Perry High School. Woo! Seniors, you may turn your tassels. Ladies and gentlemen, I proudly present to you the graduating class of 2022. Congratulations.